I'd like to call this meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety to order September 4th, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. Roll call.
Mr. Baldwin.
Here.
Mr. Rutherford.
Here.
Let the record show Mr. Hoover is absent.
Members have had the minutes of the regular session of August 19th, 2024 mailed out. Are there any additions or corrections from staff?
I move for approval.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
First on the agenda is Dennis Newman, resident, requesting a four-way stop at Keats Drive and Spurlock Lane. Mr. Newman?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
Yeah, just
It's,
tell us what you want.
I'm Dennis Newman, 6-year resident of Greenwood. I'll keep this short. Over the homecoming development at University Park, and concerned father of 2 little boys. You know, I'm a little bit older, but because of the excessive speeds of the cars traveling on Dietz Drive. And so there's already been 2 major accidents out there. They wiped out the street sign, Dietz and Spurlock, and that was taken away, that sign. They also knocked over the light pole there, and I don't know if this is on the books or whatever, or if this was just taken care of by the people, but it's very dangerous. A lot of little kids in the neighborhood, school buses, all that, you know, and so I just figured the easiest thing to do would be to ask for 2 stop signs on Dietz Drive at the corner of Spurlock. We have signs at Spurlock. All my neighbors agree with me. It's out of control. If people are driving these muscle cars, you know, 80 miles an hour down Dietz Drive.
Is Dietz the north-south road?
Yeah. Just a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the cars come down here through Legacy, down the circle, come up to that gathering lane here, Shirk Way, and Dietz continues past Spurlock there where the circle is, and down all the way out the other end of the development. And it's just the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, as you all know, it's just out of control. And so that's why I'm here.
Okay.
And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it needs a traffic light, it needs speed bumps, but I just thought it would be the most reasonable request would be a couple more stop signs there. As there really have been accidents and so on.
Yeah, so at the board's direction, engineering staff could prepare an engineering study. There are certain criteria listed for when always stop is applicable. We would collect data, we could go out and collect our counts and look at the crash history there and see if that criteria applied. I can say that always stops are not supposed to be used. Stop signs in general are not supposed to be used for speeding. But there are other criteria that we can look at if that's at the pleasure of the board. We can likely bring it back before you at if not the next meeting, then the first meeting after.
That sounds reasonable to me.
I agree. So you want to direct staff to prepare the
staff.
So what we have to do is our engineering department needs to conduct a study. We can't just put a stop sign in anywhere. It has to be justified and meet criteria.
Yeah, I understand.
So this is the first part of
Sometimes a
that.
stop sign actually makes it worse.
Oh.
Because they tear out then afterwards, you know,
Yeah, I
But-
see.
you know,
Yeah.
there are different criteria.
I went to the police station first before I figured out to come here. They told me they were gonna send patrol cars down there and stuff, but you know, it's just a little bit dangerous for kids.
There's a neighborhood around here someplace, and about every other yard has a please slow down sign.
Yeah, I bought some little signs. Children playing, slow down.
Do we have his contact information?
I believe you talked to Paul Peony in my office, so I believe you have your contact.
Yeah.
We'll notify you when we get that study back.
All right, so thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good night.
Next on the agenda, Jackie Barker, homeowner at 465 Candy Court.
Hello.
Hi.
My husband and I have been residents of Greenwood for little over 2 years. During that time, in fact, for the past 5 years, we've had a home in Estero, Florida. We have recently sold that home, in fact, closed on it today. About a week ago, I hired a pod, a storage device to bring our belongings from that home to our Greenwood home. And I did that because in my neighborhood, about a year ago, I saw a pod at the curb. In fact, I saw 2 pods. And I thought, oh, okay, it's been done before, it can be done again. The pod people, oh, this is my husband,
That's
Thomas Newcomb, by the way. The pod people told me, you will need a permit if it's on a public street. And we thought, well, we'll bring it up the back driveway to the rear of our condo and everything will be fine. Well, they have a device called the Podzilla that they unloaded from their semi. It's quite large. It may not fit behind our condo, so we may have it at the front. It will be there for 5 days. It's coming on the 11th of September. It will be leaving on the 6th of September. During that time, we'll unload our things, we'll try to find a place for them in our condo and live happily ever after.
September 16th.
So yes, the 11th through the 16th.
Yeah, okay.
And the street is wide enough for 4 cars. I have a picture on my phone to show you this. And it's on the circle, so it's not obstructing any traffic, will not cause any problems at all. And we also talked to the board president, vice president, who said, we have nothing to say about it, we have no problems with it, but it is a city street. So if you'd like to see the picture, I'll be glad to show it to you.
It's on a cul-de-sac. It's-
Okay. Mark, is there any type of cones or anything that they would need to put out? The only thing I could see is if somebody ran into it.
Yeah, I would add that section of municipal code 6-288 is our property maintenance code, so I think it's more concerned about appearance than it is about roadside safety. Yeah, I don't think it would hurt if they could cone something off and make it aware. I don't believe, do you know how wide the trailer is?
Yes, 7.5 foot.
So 7.5 feet is smaller than a parked car, and there's certainly room for on-street parking.
For 5 days. So I've been for approval.
From September 11th through the 16th. I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
And I would recommend some cones or something,
Sure,
just to kind of.
all right,
Thank you.
Thank
thank you
you.
very much.
Lisa Vest, job description amendment.
Lisa Best, Director of HR. I come before you this evening with 2 job descriptions that we needed to make an amendment to. The first one is administrative assistant, and that is the sanitation, street and fleet maintenance department. There's a line that says prepares monthly billing and records for Citizens Energy Group and Center Grove Estates. We have included the language for their successors in interest. That way, if there is a change, we would be able to not have to take the job description to you over and over and over again if there's a change.
I'd move for approval.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
The second one I have is for the watch commander in the police department, where Chief Eisen is making changes, is going to be in the experience area and also education. So candidates for the watch commander position must meet all training requirements necessary to maintain reserve police officer certification, and also must have at least 3 years of sworn law enforcement experience, which includes experience as a reserve police officer.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. G, washable. Numbers 92 and 95, special purchase.
Good evening, board. Jamie Washell, Fire Chief. I have 2 requests. One is cancellation of contract for purchase of fire engines, Seagrave fire apparatus. They breached the contract that we had. We're upcharging us nearly 10%, about $80,000 per engine. So we are requesting cancellation or termination of that contract.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And the second request I have is consideration for special purchase for pumper engine 92 and 95. It's through HME, Ahern's Fox model. This is through the Houston Galveston acquisition or cooperation for a while. So I'm asking for approval for these two pumpers in replacement of the Seagrave contracts.
Great.
What's the dollar figure on those?
If you approve it, would you make it contingent on funding being approved in the 2025 budget?
What was our total fee on those?
The total of each engine is $865,233 a piece for a total of $1.730,466.
Okay, so we have a motion on that, subject to the 2025 budget.
So moved.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you, Board.
All right, thank you. Adam Mears, Radisson Land Development for Scottsdale Estates, Section 1.
Good evening, board. This is Jonas Lewandowski with Gradison Land Development. I'm filling in for Adam. We are just asking for conditional approval of our maintenance bond and the release of our performance bond for Section 1 sanitary of Scottsdale Estates.
Okay, thank you. Mark, we have a memo from your office.
That's correct. Mr. Lewandowski summarized that correctly. We're also waiting for receipt of balance due on the inspection and testing agreement and receipt of the Mylar digital as-built, which are just the permanent copies. So those would just be
Conditions.
Correct.
You hear that?
Yes, sir.
You agree to that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, those two conditions, I'd move for approval.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's same type of situation, Jonas. I assume you're gonna do this one too, Scottsdale Estates, Section 2.
That is correct. Yes. We are just asking for the approval of our maintenance bond and the release of our performance bond contingent on the inspection fees and the Mylar and as-built.
Same conditions. With the same conditions, I'd move for approval.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Rachel Fields, Cushman & Wakefield for 642 Cheney Avenue.
Good afternoon, Gordon Dowry with Cushman & Wakefield. I'll be stepping in for Rachel. We've submitted performance guarantees and have also executed and submitted the inspection and testing agreement associated with the project of expanding the truck parking area at 642 Cheney.
Okay, we have a memo from development.
it's correct, to summarize it correctly. There's no conditions on it. It's performance guarantees and inspection and testing agreements.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Gordon.
All right, thank you very much.
Kevin Riddle, Arbor Homes, Southern Pines, Section 2.
Good evening. This here is Southern Pines Section 2, just doing a little housekeeping. We had a performance bond still out there on the sidewalks for that section, and the performance bond was issued about somewhere around 20 years ago. So we had an inspection done with Mr. Weaver, made all the repairs he requested. He did a final inspection, said everything looked good. So we're asking that you accept the sidewalks in Southern Pines Section 2. We're requesting to waive the maintenance bond requirement due to how long they've been out there and release of the performance guarantee.
Okay. Mark?
Nothing additional.
Move for approval.
And waiving the maintenance bond.
Waiving the maintenance bond.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, guys.
Josh Kribler with American Structure Point.
Yes, I am here. For Grand Vista subdivision section 2.
Okay. You have a stormwater waiver request.
We actually have 2 stormwater waiver requests. The first being for the removal of the 0.1 drop within a select few structures. And the second for a reduction in cover on a select few structures. Essentially, our flood routing is not allowing us to meet our cover. To remedy this in a few locations, we removed the 0.1 drop. And then a few others, we just weren't able to remedy it. However, all structures are constructible. And we limited this to just rear yards and grass areas.
Mark?
Yeah, the 2 waivers, engineering's not opposed to either of them. We'd be supportive of them. Cover requirement, it's in grassy areas. It's not under the roadway. It's not really in the right of way, so it's not a huge concern. The 0.1 drop in structures, I believe, Josh, you're providing at least 2.5 feet per second of flow through the pipes. So that should address.
Keep it clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only
Absolutely.
5 structures total.
Is there a motion on the, we'll take both waivers, I think, at the same time.
I'll move for approval of both waivers.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody's time.
Anyone from the audience wish to address the board either in person or online? Seeing none, we'll move on to Corporation Council status of task.
First up, I have a walk-on. We have Exos. Exos is a IT vendor with whom the city has a master services agreement. The mayor has made the determination that the city would benefit from outsourcing our IT services. To do so, the existing work order on the master service agreement needs to be expanded to include the services that were formerly done by in-house employees. Going forward, the Exos people will have 2 of its employees staffed here full-time, and the rest of it will be done by, more senior work will be done by Exos offsite. So we need approval today, subject to legal, for the new expanded scope work order.
So moved.
Okay, we've got a motion. I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Next, I have consideration of a sidewalk repair contract with McGath Concrete. This is Kevin's sidewalk projects in the sum of $50,000. This will be in Country Air 1.
Is there a motion on the Country Air sidewalk repair?
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next up is a contract with Wayland to deal with some water line issues at the field house.
Is there a motion on the contract with Wayland to install water line at the field house or repair it? I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next up is a request from the fire department to dispose of fire extinguishers. We ended up with more expired extinguishers than we can use, and since they have expiration dates, there's no reason to keep them in inventory.
So these are expired.
No, they're not expired yet. If we don't have a use for them, if we give them away, at least they'd be of benefit to somebody.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next up is a contract with VS Engineering, and this is, VS is going to provide all the work to get a survey and also get appraisals for a eminent domain of a small parcel of real estate that would allow second access for part of the airport property to County Line Road. The amount was $21,215.
Motion.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Next up is a ratification. PNC exercised PNC is our tenant in this building. PNC exercised an option for another 5-year term. The rent, we don't know yet because one of the conditions of that option was it would be at market rate, not at current rate. So they're entitled by contract to extend, and we will work out the rate with them by examining what other people are paying this area.
So is it the rate variable over the 5-year term, or is it locked in the 5-year term?
It will be locked.
Okay.
I'd move for approval.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And then ratify, great, right, it's acceptance, right?
Correct.
So that motion does ratify that.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Moving on to city engineer status of task, Mark.
The first item I have is our easement encroachment request docket. We have one request, encroachment 2024025 at 867 Blackberry Drive. It is a fence encroachment request, and it has our typical conditions on it.
Is there a motion on the request for the encroachment? Looks like the normal conditions.
I'd move for approval.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
My last item is sanitary sewer service special agreements. There are 5 of them for Sagefire by Del Webb Section 2, Grand Vista Subdivision Section 2, Scottsdale Estates Section 5, Honey Creek Farm Section 1, and Honey Creek Farms Section 2.
Motion on all those together.
So moved.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
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 That's all I have tonight.
Okay. Moving on, controller, Greg,
Nothing tonight.
you have budgets coming up, right?
Yep.
Good times.
I would move
Thanks.
for approval of the claims as presented.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right. If there's nothing else to come before the good of the board, we can stand adjourned at 5:55.